Prince Institute, shorthand dictation, 80 words per minute, exercise 448. Your dictation will be start within 10 seconds. Start. In this connection, I would like to invite the attention of honorable members to a few elements in the situation, that is, the conditions which prevailed in the country during this period. They have, to an extent, influenced the rate of progress and also have been responsible for most of the difficulties or disappointments we have experienced. The first thing is, and that is important, what was the starting point? What was the stage of development reached? India's per capita national income, viewed in the international context, was among the lowest. There was yet another significant fact: the national income was not only at a very low level, but also there was no evidence that this country was catching up with the increase in population, that is, the trend in regard to per capita national income was downwards. It did not amount to stagnation, but certainly there was deterioration, and therefore our planning effort had to face this downward pull, which had to be overcome. It took a number of years, the period of first plan and a part of the second plan, to achieve that. That is a very big result we have achieved, because then a certain dynamism is introduced in the economy which pushed it forward. It will be recognized that among our handicaps, and there were many handicaps, was our lack of experience initially in tackling big tasks. We had to set up the rate of investment to the maximum extent possible. The administrative machinery was not geared to take up development work on a large scale. We had not enough trained personnel. There were shortages experienced in several fields. The difficulties were accentuated by the fact that the setup in the rate of investment was very rapid. Now we can say with some confidence that we have made big strides in preparing ourselves for a still better advance in the 11th five-year plan. It is plain that India is an underdeveloped country, and what we need is more investments and therefore more savings. A large majority of the people are not in a position to make any savings. That is a fact which has to be faced squarely. There is yet another factor which has a very important bearing on the pace of our progress. it is our democratic structure. I am convinced that democratic forces will become an ally of development. Sir, I was referring to the situation through which we have passed. It is a fact that our people, who are a free people, are slowly awakening to the new developments in the country. There is a new consciousness about their needs and their rights. Therefore, they ask for more and the claims pile up. That is one side. On the other side, we have not got the methods to extend more and more out of their low current incomes for the purpose of investment. Therefore, that handicap does remain, but as I have indicated, I am sure that this handicap will diminish progressively, and in due course it will become a much greater positive force than it is today. When all sections of the population participate and every individual becomes a willing partner in this process of development, certainly the results are going to be extraordinarily good. That is another factor. Sir, now in regard to our planning effort, we are asked as to why certain targets have not been realized and what has happened to the price level. It is to be remembered that we are operating in a mixed economy in which the scope and area of state controls and regulations over production and distribution activities are limited to the minimum necessary. I believe we have been able to reconcile these factors to a considerable extent, but we are still confronted with the problems which arise therefrom. Another factor concerns the federal structure of our state. We are supposed to formulate and execute the plan at various levels, including the center, states, and local bodies. Again, I think it is not a disadvantage, but certainly in the coordination of the various processes of planning and development, certain difficulties do arise. One fact which I would like to bring to the notice of honorable members, which has a very important bearing on the course of progress, is that we have set before ourselves several objectives, and these are competing objectives. At least for the time being, our main objective is that the tempo of development should increase to ensure better standards of living to the people. This is one objective. Another objective which we have placed before ourselves is that we should be able to maintain a certain rate of growth of the economy. To achieve this, we should rely on ourselves as far as possible and not be dependent on others. That is one phase of economic independence. We have got that objective before us. Then there is the third objective which we have set before ourselves, and that is a very important one for any community.